I feel the need to make a video. Not really sure what it should be about. Really not sure who it's for. It's probably for me, future Tina, because ever since this happened, I would always make videos. I would go on Facebook and do lives. And over the years, I see my old videos. And when I see them, they really inspire me. If this is your first time ever hearing from me or whatever, Tina, I'm a fitness professional. And 10 years ago, my 21-year-old amazing son was murdered. You can just Google his name, stuff will pop up all over the place. His name is Jamal Gaines. We called him Molly. And his nickname, I actually made up his nickname like as soon as he came home from the hospital. There was a DJ at the time called Molly Malls. So that was the nickname I gave him. Molly Malls in the house. And I remember my Aunt Jo, she's like, why are you giving him a nickname? And he was my only son, and he was the best son in the whole wide world. I would always say that to him. I was like, you're my favorite son. And he's like, I'm your only son, Mom. And the wild thing is, throughout his life as a child, it was very, very challenging. I was a single mom, and Jamal was a lot. He was a Leo, and he liked things his way. He was kind of stubborn. Now, when he was a little boy, he was still, reckless, but he listened because, mommy could hit him and he like listened, scared or whatever. But as he grew up, he really started to find his manhood. And the wild thing is, when he was younger, I thought he was going to be gay. Nothing wrong with being gay because, he just had me and his sister. And he would sometimes put on my high heels and he'd play with his sister and, he would do things like that. But he's just a character. So, yeah, he watched me a lot. And being a single mom, I was a hustler. And I always had like 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 jobs at a time just hustling because I had no excuse in regards to getting stuff for my kids, right? And we moved from Newark, New Jersey, which was not a good area, to this beautiful town called Broadway, New Jersey. And I was so happy. I remember when we first moved there, it was snowing outside and we were driving to the apartment, and everything I did was for my kids because I wanted them to have a better life. And the one thing I remember is I didn't want to have to move with them because when I was younger, I moved a lot as a kid. I was like that new kid in school and I hated it. I was born in Patterson, Hackensack, South Carolina, and then in South Carolina, moved to different places and then back to New Jersey. And it was a lot and I hated it. So the one thing that I wanted to do for my kids, the first thing was to not move a lot. So I remember one year they counted, they're like, Mom, we must move at least 10 times, but it was all in the town of Rahway. I kept them in Rahway, but we did move around a lot. And the second thing I wanted to do with my kids was to make sure they were into extracurricular activities because I know it's very important that you do different things. When I was younger, I did modeling and pageants and fashion shows, and I wasn't really a sports girl at all, but I made sure my kids did it all. And this is all about Molly Malls, and he did the same thing, right? I had him into acting and modeling, and he did a lot of acting jobs as a little boy. Sometimes him and his sister would do jobs together. I'd pretend they were twins because they looked, their height and everything was about the same. We even did roll as a family together, the 3 of us. His very first job, our job as a family was so cute. We did the job and the job was over, and at the end he goes over to the director and he says, does I get my money now? He was always about his money. Let me tell you, he was always about his money. And I love the fact that he always wanted to take care of his mother. He would always say, Mom, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And that's why he was such a hustler. And 10 years ago, he was tragically murdered. He had dreams. We all have dreams. We have goals, right? And the crazy thing is, as a child, you have to really stay a child, stay like tapping into your dreams. I didn't understand his dream at all, right? He wanted to open a sneaker store. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Who's going to buy sneakers like that? I was clueless when it came to that. But I let him do what he wanted to do. I gave him a little bit of guidance. I didn't force him to do certain things. And his very first store he got when he was 18. Actually, his first store was in the house. He had all these sneakers in the house. I remember I was just like, what's with all these sneakers? I had no idea. I'm not a sneaker girl, right? He would sell the sneakers from the house. And then he asked a friend. So this is for all those entrepreneurs out there. I don't care what your age is. If you're 12, 13, 2, 52, 62, doesn't matter. You can do it. He had an idea. Someone said, hey, I have a friend who has a store. Maybe you can rent out part of the store. And that's what he did. He rented out part of the store. He was selling sneakers there. Something happened in the back end. That store got shut down. He ended up back in the house. He was devastated, right? Because I'm an owner. I got my business, and then smash it closed. He came back home, and then he got his mind together, and then collaborated with some amazing people. Ghosts, Adam is his first name, and I just thank Adam so much for believing in my son. And they partnered together, and they had the first store in Rahway, New Jersey, called East Coast Kicks or Cali Kicks. East Coast Kicks, yes, that was the name of it. And one thing about Jamal, even though he was 18, 19, 20, he did not want mom to help at all. I could not help. I would try to help. I remember I used to sell perfume back in the day. I was like, Jamal, you should get these little Cuban cigar colognes. He's telling me the story. Like, yo, ma, leave me alone. Like I couldn't do anything to help. But the store was extremely successful rolling. I'm gonna share a story with you guys with how motivated he was. And I remember after, my brain kind of goes like this, apologies. This one girl that I used to work with, I saw her years after he was murdered. And she's like, yeah, I heard about your son. Yeah, he was in a game, and I was like, what? And the game, I guess, in selling drugs, like that's where she thought he got his money from to start the business. And I was like, no, my son never sold drugs. Because I told him when he was younger, I was like, if I ever find out that you do that, you are cut, you are dead to me. Kind of like his sister when she was dancing and she'd go to New York by herself. I said, if I ever find out you're with a boy, you're cut, it's over. I guess that's one thing that they listen to. So my son never sold drugs or anything like that. And if he did, I never found out, but I don't think he did. I'm sure I would have found out by now. So I got off topic and I forgot my thought. Yes, back to the story. So we're driving in the car. He's driving, I'm on the passenger side, and he had a bag from the bank. If you in the business, they give you bags to hold your money in. And he gave me the bag and he's like, look at this, Mom. And I opened it up and it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. It was $10,000. And I said, where did you get this from? That was my first question, right? But he was so confident in what he did, and he was so good at what he did. People trusted and believed in him. People invested in him, whether it was money, whether it was sneakers, because he could turn that money into a profit. So someone who's given him that money could turn it into a profit. How? By buying sneakers and selling sneakers. So I'm looking at this money, and I said, why are you giving this to me to hold? He's like, because I want you to know what it feels like to hold $10,000. And I'm crying right now when I think about that. And I'm going to do it again just for you, Molly, because he knew how hard it was to make $1, to make 50 cents, to make anything. He knew, and he wanted me to feel that money to know you can do it. Maybe I should just save $100 every whatever, just put it in one place. So I've got like 10 there. All right, back to the point. So the point of this story is he was a hustler. He was absolutely amazing. He had one sneaker store. They opened up a second sneaker store. He actually wanted to knock the back out and make it bigger, or go to the mall. He had so many dreams, and haters are going to hate, right? The store had gotten robbed before, and I never saw the video until afterwards. And he said, Mom, I'm not going to show you this video because if so, you're going to freak out. Someone had come to the store once and tried to rob the store with a gun, but it was a fake gun. He actually attacked the person. Like, I saw the video. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Guy has a gun and he attacks the guy. He would always say East Coast Kicks for life. I might be saying it wrong. I don't know. But he had a dream, and he believed in his dream, and he worked hard for his dream, right? That store was so beautiful. He had Kobe and Michael Jordan playing basketball, a mural on one side and Biggie on the other side. And I wish I knew why I know why he chose the basketball players, because he loved, LeBron's. But the Biggie, I don't know why. They had a big old TV in there. It was a place. It was lit, right? Broadway was on fire then. He even had this game there. If you ever go to Atlantic City or any of those big carnivals, and they have the big hook that comes down and takes. He had one of those for sneakers there. So I miss you, Sonny boy. I miss you so much, and I'm so proud of you. And if there's one thing I could say to you is, I wish I could have been there more when you were a little boy. I wish I could have been there to take you to the park. I wish I could have been there to, um, we went to the beach every Sunday. It's just, I work all the time. And I thank my grandmother who's up in heaven, my mother, my sister, my family, like everyone who helped. It was like, my girlfriend Brooke, it was a village, right? Because I was like, we are doing all the things. And yeah, February 26, 2016. That morning, I got up like I normally do at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym. All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're working out. And I come back home and, all right, let's go to work. Well, I would drop him off because he had surgery and he couldn't see out of one of his eyes. And I took him to work, and these were our mommy-son times. Every morning, he'd be on the passenger side just talking and talking. He talked a lot. He was kind of shy if he didn't know you. But if he knew you, whoo, watch out. And he was talking about his girlfriend, Tati, how much he loved her. I think he said they'd have like 3 or 5 kids or something. I felt like saying, like, dude, she is not going to have all those kids. No woman wants all those kids. And he was talking about his next business venture. It was always money, 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 money. Always talking about money, right? And it was cold. And when I dropped him off, just like the sun is on my face right now, I looked at him, and that sun ray was going across his beautiful face. He was smiling, he was always smiling. His smile was like mine. And I said, your teeth sure do look white today. Not to say they don't normally look white, but they really look white. His smile really looked good. I don't think he had braces. When you get older, you tend to forget stuff. Gotta ask me, but I don't think he had braces. And he kissed me on the cheek. He said, I love you, Mom. And that was the last time. The last time I saw my sonny boy. If I close my eyes, I can still see him on the side of the car, jumping out. We didn't really talk during the day. Just every morning I would see him, and he didn't get off of work till like 9 or 10. Mind you, I'm in bed by then, but I would always stop by at night just to swing by. When he was a little kid, he never wanted me around him and his friends. He was like, he would ignore me. Like if I went to the wrestling games or basketball games or anything, he ignored me. Like, but then when he got older, he was proud of us more. He would hug me, give me a kiss, Had many nicknames for him. I give nicknames to people, and when he was younger, I said like Molly Malls, that was one of his nicknames. One of them was Brother, called him Brother. He was brother to his sister, and sometimes it felt like he was a brother to me. I also used to call him Bone Bone because he was really, really thin. I remember when he was younger, his ears, he'd stick his head out the window and his ears would flap in the wind. Sitting here with the sun on my face in California with my daughter. And I'm not sure if you can hear the water, but next to me is the beautiful waterfalls, and she dropped me off at the bottom of this hill. She's with a client, but I'm by a park. And I wanted to share one thing before I get out of here. I made these cards here for moments like this. For moments when I feel super low. Dee had said something to me earlier. She said, do you think if we didn't know the day or date, would we remember it, right? Would our bodies remember it? And I think my body would. I know my mother said something the other day that made me feel good. She was like, he wouldn't want you sad. And I know he wouldn't want me sad, but I miss him so much. Just like I miss my father, because I know my life would look so different, so different. My father died at 49 from a massive heart attack, something that could have been prevented. That's why I go so hard in fitness. And if my son was alive, it would be so different. Like, he was such a man to man, and he just like, all right, so learning lesson. Everything I do has to have a learning lesson with it, right? So the past 2 weeks have been extremely challenging for me, and really bad, really, really bad. Like, I can't even, Let's fast forward to today. Forget the badness, right? Yesterday's history. Tomorrow's a mystery. We only have today. So let's get present right now. Let me share with you what I've been doing and what you can do if you feel those horrible, sad feelings. I've made these cards for me. Now you have to create your own, which works best for you. I first suggest that you purchase my book. It's called No More Traumedy. And traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. These are two horrible, disgusting things. And when they come together, life changes. Life is never the same. It's never the same. You have to understand that this is a new way of living, right? You have your ups, you have your downs, and I'm getting this little cry out now so I can enjoy the rest of the day because my daughter and I were going to an award show tonight. But these are some cards I made to help me. And the first one is, what do you feel? I think it's really, really important that we recognize, what are we actually feeling? I'm feeling a little sad, lonely, kind of. I'm a little hungry. Halt, I talk about this a lot. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? You never want to make decisions when you're in a halt state. You never really want to do things when you're in a halt state. So acknowledge it. Say hello. Hello, anger. Hello, sadness. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for reminding me of how wonderful my son is. Thank you for reminding me of how much I love him, how much I miss him. And thank you. Thank you for reminding me of that. But you know what? I don't need your freaking help, okay? You may leave. I give you permission, anger. I give you sadness permission. Sadness, all those horrible feelings. I give you permission to leave now. Yes, yes. I and you, we each are in control of how we feel, of how we think, of what we're doing, right? Use this feeling to fuel the things that I need to do. That's the first card. And then we want to get present. Open your eyes. I sometimes, when I get really, really mad, sad, like I'll close my eyes and it just like, because I just want to get in a ball and forget about everything. If you ever find yourself so angry, so mad, so sad that you close your eyes, I want to invite you to open your eyes. Open your eyes and look for something green. It's a beautiful purple flower here. I'm going to put it in my hair, right? A beautiful purple flower. What are you smelling? What are you hearing? Can you hear the water next to me? What are you touching? I'm touching this flower here. I think I'm going to grab another one for my hair. Yeah. Smell, all that sort of stuff. What are you smelling? That's the first thing. Stand up, walk, move around. Sometimes this doesn't help. Sometimes you can't even do this. I'm telling you, dude. Last week, I was not it. I was not the one. Get the fudge up, okay? Stand up. Shake your hands, shake your fingers, move, drink some water, feel the feels, and then let them go. That may not help. Go to the next card then. These are for me, like I said. Pray. Say 3 times, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I don't know the verse. I should know. If you know it, put it in here somewhere. But that's something I do. Breathing. So it's not, it's not cool. Took a Pilates class this morning with my daughter. Amazing boots. Super, super, super deep breaths. So all of these things. The next one is tapping. So these are cards. These are things that I do to fuel my cup, to fuel my soul. And in my book, it has them as well. Music. Get that playlist. Play that playlist to get you moving. Laughter. Oh my gosh, I met someone the other day and he is so funny. He's a comedian and I hung out with him. And can I tell you, when I left him, I felt so good. I was like, yay! It was the best feeling I've had in so long. I loved it. I loved it. Watch old videos. I'm not going to go through all of these here because we'll be here for a minute, but I just wanted to come through and I think I started this video talking to him. I don't remember, but he's always around me, right? Something I did when it first started, and I know my Bible people did not like this, but I was very sad, is I went to a few mediums. The first one came to the shop. I recorded it. I don't have the recording now. And then I think I went to 2 more, maybe 1 more after that. And it was so good. Excuse me. Well, my point is, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you what to do to make you feel better if you've gone through a trauma or a loss. I can tell you what I do, and perhaps, excuse me, why am I sneezing? I can tell you things that can support you and help you. So if you're watching this video and you knew Molly and he inspired you, please, excuse me, oh my gosh, stop sneezing, Tate. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your story. I got some text messages this morning and I was like, oh, it filled my heart. Kyrie, I love you. And to all the other men that were in the room, I think it was 6 or 7 other men in the room with him when it happened. And if you go to my Instagram, you'll see a little video clip of when it happened that night. It was, I think it was 7 of them in the room and everyone ran except for Jamal. I just want you guys to know you did the right thing. You should have run. It was a guy with a ski mask and a gun, 2 of them. Yes, you should have run. But Jamal would always say, you know, he died for his dream, he died for his cause, and he did. And I'm proud of you, son. I'm so proud of you, Jamal. I'm so proud that you fought for what you believed in, because a lot of people in life, they give up, right? And he probably thought it was a fake gun because it happened before. So he probably thought it was a fake gun and I'm gonna fight these guys, right? He didn't know it was a real gun. They didn't get any money, they didn't get anything. And that's the hardest part for me, not to say like if they had money it would make me feel better. We don't know who they are. If we did know who they are, would that make me feel better? No. But the thing that makes me feel better is to know that his life meant so much to so many people. He inspired so many people. Michelle with her nail, I think it's Michelle. Okay, there's one girl with the nail salon in Galway. So proud of her. My brain is like out. The other girl that has the gym and the yoga studio in Galway. So proud of her. The guys that opened up their own sneaker stores and they're doing their own thing, right? I'm so proud of people that he inspired, and we have a boys nonprofit that we've been doing for the past 10, I was like 9 years, 10 now. All the events, all the things we've been doing, and just people realizing, you know, don't give up on your dreams. And I think I have to make some new dreams, right? And I'm gonna do it, Molly. I'm gonna get that $10,000 in my hand, and I'm just gonna remember you there with me. So if you've watched this video to the end, give me a thumbs up with a smiley face to let me know that you are going to push yourself to be the best you that you can be, because you only have one life to live, right? How many more sunrises do we have left? How many more moons do we have left in our life? Not just our life, but our friends, our family. So enjoy every moment with them. I don't know what kind of bird that is. You guys want to sing? I don't know if you can sing. Look at that bird right there. Is he even in the picture? Oh, he's over by the water now. It's huge. But anyway, enjoying every moment. And let me get off of here because this will on forever. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye.